He always knew, always. He put some of our favorites in spots to expose them. I think it's more than that. I mean, I agree. But I think that because here's what was like striking to me was when did he have that Hannity interview where it was him and Musk? Just yesterday or the day before? And Hannity started out the interview saying, people are talking about you guys divorcing and, that's not. And I thought, what? Like, that's what you start your questions out on? And yet they made sure that Trump and Elon were there. And so then that took me back to, wait a minute. Because one of the things that was mind-blowing to me was immediately after, the very next day after Trump placed Elon in that Doge spot, Rogan, Patrick Bet-David, Glenn Beck, I mean, there was a ton of them. They went on and on about Elon to the point where it was like, first of all, never have gone on and on like that about Trump, but it was over the top, like they were overdoing it. I mean, Glenn Beck went as far as to say, we can't let them separate Trump and Elon. And I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Sorry, but I literally was like, what are you talking about? He's not even in a government position. He'll be there to, what are you talking about? And I really was trying to give the benefit of the doubt, and I thought, no, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And then Patrick Bet-David went as far as to say, we should, this was the very next day after Elon just getting his little Doge position. And Patrick Bet-David said, we should consider changing the Constitution so Elon Musk can run for president. Because, he wasn't born here. Oh, what? And then Rogan, of course, carrying on about, there was this relief. There was this relief with all of them. And that's when I started thinking, I'm like, there's relief because there's several people, Elon's not the only one, that I'm like, they're really happy. Like there was this, whew, so we just got to get through 4 years. We'll praise Trump, we'll stall, but we got to keep these certain people, and I'm not going to name all of them because people just get mad. But but there's enough people, and they'll stop Trump from, really doing anything that could damage all of us. Because again, a lot of these people that have these millions and millions of followers, they have them because they're being allowed to have them. Like Rogan, it's stunning to me that he interviewed Trump for 2 hours and never once asked about Epstein or trafficking. I mean, it's not, but stunning. But he's, but so when I saw Hannity a couple nights ago and Elon Musk and Trump there, and he starts out the interview saying that, I'm like, oh, you have to make sure the people accept it. That's what it is. It's the spell. It's a spell. It's literally like a spell. They need you to accept it. And if they see that the public's not accepting it, then they have to push it harder. That's the reason why right out the gates, all that alternative media, they've never stood with we the people. They've been protecting that same shadow government, but that shouldn't be a surprise for people. I mean, many of those people have been in the news business for a long time. So, but they were going over the top about Elon. And so when Hannity came out and said that, you guys, and then Trump says, yeah, it was hateful people saying that, they're trying to, he said, Elon called me and said, they're trying to separate us. Who? And Trump knows it's his true base. Like, so to hear this, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, no, that's when I realized it was the Hannity interview, that it's more than him just exposing them. It's literally the media has to convince you of the lie. Because if you accept the lie, then it allows them to delay it gives them some stall time. That's how they've always done it. It's a spell that they keep, casting in a way through the medium. That they have to make sure the people accept it. That, Trump and Elon are like this, because if the people don't accept it, then justice will come for all of them sooner. It will. But everybody is so easily spellbound by it. That's why there's literal people on TikTok and other social media, I'm sure, that popped up after Doge was created. Like one guy on here, and he's really popular, but I realized I ended up blocking him, even though I posted some of his stuff. But because all he does every day is carry on. Yep, Elon and Trump, they're fucking doing this and they're killing it. And I'm like, it's Doge, Doge, Doge. Like they just keep wanting to push Doge and how tight. And so when Hannity is saying they want to break you two up, and Glenn Beck was saying we can't let them separate Trump and Elon, I thought, no, this is effed up. Like, this is really effed up. What is this shit? And then it dawned on me with the Hannity interview. I'm like, oh no, this is what the media has been doing to us all along. If we have to accept what they're saying, but the minute you stop accepting it, and it's not going to hurt Trump, because the reason Trump can't come out and tell people, this was the other thing I realized, the reason he can't come out and just say it is because then he's telling you, and he needs you to get there. You have to get there on your own and see it, so that then the synapses in your brain, the neurons connect. Because then once they connect, by you getting there on your own, then it's permanent. Then you'll be able to see it again. But if he's always having to tell you, then you can't get there. So it's pointless. So that's why he kind of does this showman thing. And he, I literally think that sometimes he's hoping it'll piss people off. I just really think it is, because, like when they were saying Elon was living at Mar-a-Lago, and poor Barron having to listen to YMCA all the time. But I think Trump literally would play that all the time just to torture Elon. Many people think that YMCA song goes back to, I don't know, because of some YMCA part they have in Gitmo. No, if you look into it, Elon Musk's grandfather, who was a technocrat, he was one of the biggest leaders of it. Like, there was two of them back in Canada in the late 30s and 40s. He was a technocrat there, and I was going through all these old Canada newspaper articles back in that time regarding his grandfather and technocracy, and then I came across this one where his grandfather was involved. He was part of a circus show because he used to be a cowboy and he used to do roping, and he was doing this circus show with YMCA athletes, and I'm like. First I thought, wait, I didn't know the YMCA had athletes. I didn't know. This is back in the 30s and 40s. Then I went down that rabbit hole a little bit further and found out that India, the country India, has had this problem with children disappearing. And, you've heard the term back in the day, I ran off to the circus. No, they were kidnapping kids to put them in these circuses. That, the traveling shows. And that's not what Elon Musk's grandfather, I'm not saying he was, but that's what led me to there, because I'm like, YMCA, and then, but yeah, I think that's why Trump plays it, because his dad was in this circus show doing roping, and the circus show was all these YMCA athletes. That's why I think he plays it all. Because if you notice, Trump really goes all out. Why? And Elon's like, why? I think he does it to just torture him. I do. But literally, that's what it is. They have to convince you of it, because if they can't convince you of it, they're done. That's how easy it is, people, for this to be cleared up very quickly. Really, it is. But enough people have to stop accepting the lie. But everybody there's a reason all these people on all these platforms are pushing Doge, constantly Doge, and Elon and Trump, and we can't break them up. Yeah, the media doesn't want that, because then justice would come to them sooner. It would. But it takes the people to we the people have to stop believing that lie. And I'm not saying all of it is, I'm just saying, there's some people, you have to stop believing it. You have to stop believing everything the media is saying about this. Trump has it all handled. It's not he knows what he's doing. but we have to get there on our own and stop being spellbound.